If you're hearing this, it's not an accident. You're part of the 2%. The world doesn't see you, but the divine does. This message isn't for the crowd. It's for the ones who were marked from birth. The ones who walk through fire and still rise with unshaken purpose. The ones who carry silent battles while wearing calm faces. The ones who never quite fit in, no matter how hard they tried. If you've ever felt invisible, overlooked, betrayed, or misunderstood for simply being you, then listen closely, because this is your confirmation. You see, the chosen ones aren't chosen for comfort. They're chosen for calling. That's why your path has been heavy. That's why your journey has been filled with betrayals that shattered your trust, losses that broke your heart, and isolation that made you question your own soul. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. You were being carved, refined, stripped of everything false, so only what's real could remain. Because when you're chosen, you're called to operate on a higher frequency, and that frequency will always offend the shallow, the fake, and the blind. People won't get you. They'll project onto you. They'll mock you, envy you, copy you, and reject you, because your presence reminds them of everything they're ignoring within themselves. You carry light. You carry depth. You carry energy that exposes both truth and illusion. And not everyone can handle that. That's why you've been left out. That's why you've been the black sheep. That's why your loyalty was repaid with silence. Because the ones you tried to help weren't ready to face themselves. But deep down, you knew. You felt it as a child. That deep sense that something about you was different. You weren't meant to live like the rest. You weren't here just to exist. You were here to awaken, to activate, to break generational cycles and shift spiritual atmospheres. And for that, you had to go through the darkness. Not because you deserved pain, but because light only becomes powerful when it knows what it's fighting against. There were times when you asked, why me? Why did they turn on you? Why did everything fall apart when all you did was love with pure intentions? Why were you betrayed by those you would have given the world to? And here's the truth. Your heart was too real for people still hiding behind masks. Your soul was too deep for those still dancing on the surface. You weren't too much. You were too true. And truth always threatens illusion. Chosen one, don't let their rejection make you question your value. Don't let their betrayal make you shrink. Don't let your past convince you that you're unworthy of everything that's coming. Because what's coming is holy. What's coming is divine. What's coming is finally in alignment with who you've become. You're not the same person who begged to be seen. You're no longer waiting for permission. You've been called higher, and now it's time to walk like you believe it. Only 2% will understand this. Only 2% will feel it in their bones, in their spirit, in their history. Because this message is for the ones who died and came back emotionally. The ones who lost themselves trying to save others. The ones who cried alone but still wiped their tears and showed up for the world. If that's you, then you're not broken. You're reborn. You're not weak. You're rising. You're not forgotten. You're favored. And no, they won't understand your process. They won't understand your silence. They won't understand how you keep going when everything around you tried to break you. But that's the beauty of being chosen. Your strength doesn't come from this world. It comes from above. That's why you're still here. That's why, despite the chaos, you still carry peace. That's why, even when your heart shattered, your spirit stayed whole. You were sent here to awaken people, not please them. To walk in purpose, not popularity. To carry truth, not trends. And because of that, your life won't look like anyone else's. You'll outgrow people. You'll leave rooms that once felt like home. You'll have to walk away from comfort to protect your calling. But every sacrifice is sacred. Every lonely season is loaded with divine instruction. And every loss was really a setup for alignment. You see, the glow up isn't just about success. It's about spiritual elevation. It's about walking in your full power without fear. It's about becoming the version of you that no longer needs to explain your light to people committed to their own darkness. You're no longer here to be liked. You're here to lead, to shine, to shift. And that requires isolation. That requires discomfort. That requires divine disruption. And you, chosen one, you've already passed the test. This next season isn't about who left you. It's about who's coming. It's about what's awakening within you. You're not going back to who you used to be. You're stepping into who you were always meant to become. The betrayers served their purpose. The pain served its purpose. Every detour was protection. Every delay was development. You didn't lose time. You gained wisdom. You gained clarity. You gained a connection to God that no human approval could ever give you. And now, your voice is changing. Your vision is sharpening. Your aura is shifting. People will feel it. Some will run from it. But the ones meant for you, they'll rise to meet it. Because you're no longer here to chase. You're here to attract. You're no longer asking, why me? Now you're saying, thank you. Thank you for the pain that birthed my power. Thank you for the isolation that revealed my identity. Thank you for every closed door that redirected me to divine purpose. The world hasn't seen the real you yet, but it's about to. And when they do, they won't recognize you, not because you've changed, but because you've become. You've remembered. You've reconnected with your assignment. And from this point forward, your steps are ordered, your spirit is aligned, and your presence unstoppable. People won't get you. They'll project onto you. They'll mock what they can't comprehend. They'll distance themselves from what exposes their own darkness. Because when your light walks into a room, it disturbs the shadows people have gotten comfortable living in. And that's why they rejected you. Not because you were wrong, but because you were too real. You triggered something in them, not with arrogance, but with presence. You reflected what they were not willing to face in themselves. But listen to this carefully. Your rejection was divine redirection. You were never meant to belong to the crowd. You weren't built for mediocrity. You weren't sent here to blend in. You were born to break patterns, to shift atmospheres, to awaken generations. And that's exactly why your life has felt like a battlefield since day one. The enemy doesn't attack anything that isn't a threat. The opposition you faced, it's proof of the power you carry. This is what most people don't understand. Being chosen isn't glamorous. It's lonely. It's heavy. It comes with nights of crying in silence and days of smiling through pain. It comes with being the strong one for everyone else, while no one asks how you're doing. It comes with spiritual warfare you can't explain to anyone, because you know they'll just think you're overthinking. But you're not. What you're feeling is real. And the reason it feels like no one understands you is because only 2% do. Only 2% of people know what it's like to be set apart their whole life. To be told they're too sensitive, too deep, too intense, when in reality, they just see through the surface. You see the truth before it's spoken. You feel the energy before words are said. You're not imagining things. You're sensing them. Your gift is real, even if others can't name it. And that gift has cost you. It's cost you relationships, peace, acceptance. But soon, that same gift is going to elevate you, because something is shifting. Quietly, behind the scenes, your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered. Opportunities are aligning. The universe, God, whatever name you call it, it's moving. Doors you thought were locked forever are starting to creak open. And not because you begged, chased, or compromised, but because you remained faithful to who you are. You didn't sell out. You didn't water yourself down to fit in places you had outgrown. You endured the breaking, and now, it's time for the building. You didn't go through all that pain for nothing. Your suffering has a purpose. Your scars carry codes. The wounds you thought disqualified you, they've become the source of your wisdom, your strength, your empathy. You feel deeply because you've bled deeply. That's why your presence heals. That's why your voice shifts atmospheres. That's why your energy speaks before you do. You don't have to try. You just are. And the people who are meant for you, they'll see it. They'll feel it. They'll honor it, not exploit it. You're not crazy. You're not dramatic. You're not too much. You're rare. And most people fear what's rare because it's unfamiliar. But the ones who are aligned with your mission, they're coming. The real ones. The tribe you've been praying for. The support that matches your energy. The love that doesn't drain, but fuels. It's already on its way. But you had to be emptied first of people, patterns, and mindsets that were too small for where you're going.